Hi Stampers, this is Judy Anderson from JudyStamps.com bringing you another fun card idea today. This is the card I'm going to be showing you how to create using our chalk marker and coloring it and having a little bit of fun with it other than just the chalkboard look. What got me inspired to start creating cards like this is the swap that I received at convention this last year, and even though she didn't use the chalk marker on this, she used the gel pen, our white gel pen on it. It got me thinking on some other ways of getting the same effect with the chalk marker. So let's get started. We are going to be using our Vivid Vases stamp set today and our Jet Black Stays On ink. I'm going to ink this up and stamp it towards the top a little bit because we are going to be running some ribbon along the bottom, and we need to make sure we have enough space for that. Okay, like the way that came out. Let's wash it, dry it, and put it away. And make sure you close up your Stays On ink because we want to make sure it doesn't dry out on us. Okay, now the next step is going to be taking your chalk marker and coloring in all your vases. I follow the outline of the stamped image and then straight in the middle and then start curving on the other side. This is going to give you some shading all in itself. And as you can see, it's very quick and simple to do. And the darker the cardstock, the more the white stands out. I just like the smoky slate for this card. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and my flowers, I'm going to color my leaf and the outside two petals of the tulip on this little daisy-like one. I'm going to do every petal, and don't forget the little bud there. On my crocus, I'm doing the outside only. On the lilac type, I'm just doing little dots. That's going to form some lowlights and highlights. And on our daffodil, we're going to do the outside petals again. And don't forget this leaf over here. Okay, we're done with our chalk marker. And now we're going to take our Blushing Bride. You can choose your whatever color you want. I just like this color, the pink and gray look. And I'm just going to start coloring. And I'm going to also color where I didn't use the chalk marker. And this is what's going to actually form some of your shading. On the lilac, once again, just little dots. Don't worry if you hit all the white chalk, because see how that actually is causing it to do your highlights and lowlights. And on your daffodil, we're going to do it all. And the center is a little bit darker. Okay, now the next color I'm going to be using is my Wild Wasabi. I'm going to do the leaves with that. And it's just a quick stroke with your Stampin' White marker. Go over it twice if you want it a little bit darker. If you find that you want some of your coloring to be a little bit darker, you want to give it a couple seconds to dry and then go over it. Now I wanted some shading behind my vases to make it look like they're 3D. So I actually don't have the smoky slate, which I normally would use. Instead, I'm grabbing the Sahara Sand. And this is a great example of how just because you don't have that Stampin' White marker, find a shading color that's similar. You could even use like a Marina Mist if you wanted. And I'm going to have the darker color, my shading, like the sun's coming from the left, so down the right sides of all of these, I'm going to actually take my marker and go right over the line, so I'm hitting the back off, which would be the background of the vase, and then on the vase also. And as I go down to the bottom, I'm pressing harder on my marker, because what that's going to do is that's going to cause the bottom to have a little bit more shading, like the shadows coming across the bottom of your vase. Sorry, should finish my sentences, huh? Okay, see how that just makes that pop out? Isn't that great? Now I want a little bit of shadowing on the ground or the table that they're sitting on, and I want just a little bit more across the bottom of those vases like this. So see how that's causing just a little bit of a shadow. Don't do too much because it's harder to take away than it is to add it. You can always add a little bit later. And I just noticed that I forgot to color my little bud here. So get that do a little bit more coloring on these guys. See how it just kind of darkens it up a little bit if you just add a little bit of, after it dries a minute. Okay, now we're all set. We're going to go ahead and do our ribbon. For this, I've got the Blushing Bride chevron ribbon. I'm going to fold it in half to form a tail. Just take it, measure it, see about how much I want. Cut that off. And then I'm going to take some glue dots, run it around along the bottom of my card so that my ribbon will stick. Another little trick that I do to use this is I just kind of roll, which is kind of hard to do on camera, but I normally open this up and then just roll it along the edge like this, and then the glue dots will fall off or stick to your cardstock. Okay, I'm going to wrap it around the back here. So let me find another glue dot. And there we go. Okay, so you don't want to lay it down on your table. You want to hold it up because you got that glue dot in the back. Find where you want to lay that across and just press down and wrap it across the back. And I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue, add a couple dots, make sure I get down along where the ribbon is. Okay, I'm going to take my basic gray cardstock and layer that onto that. Flip that over, a couple dots of glue, and my white base cardstock. Fold that in half. I forgot my bone folder. I normally would use my bone folder here. And put that onto your card base, just like that. Okay, take some neutral buttons. There's a little gray one here I'll use. And another glue dot. And there's your card. Isn't that too darn cute? So, now you know how to color your chalk marker. And until next time, happy stampin'!